To all who listen to this happy pod, welcome. My name is Noah Parker, and welcome to DCOM Kids. I'm joined today by my co-host and twin sister, Marci.
Hello.
No, we're not actually twins, but, you know.
Our whole lives we've been told.
Yeah, we've had several people throughout our lives tell us that they believe we're twins, and we made up a little lore for ourselves that we are twins.
Yeah.
And we were actually born in, 1996?
96, yeah.
Anyway, thank you guys for joining us. If you're here joining us live, if you're listening, thanks for tuning in, of course. It is a little late, a little later than usual, later than we intended, but life happens sometimes, and
just roll with the punches.
Noah forgets
sometimes.
that he's live streaming. But yeah. So, how have you been?
I've been all right.
Good.
As you can tell by my voice, though, I promise it's like allergies because the weather's been changing so drastically, so fast. Drastically, that's the same thing. Anyway, but because of like my sinus draining or something, I don't know what's causing this, but I don't have a great voice today.
That's all right.
So sorry about that.
Thanks for being a trooper and sticking to it anyway.
Yeah.
So today, guys, we are continuing our Spooktober Fest.
Spooktober.
Where we have rewatched Halloweentown II, Kalabar's Revenge.
Yes.
Yeah. Hopefully you guys got the chance to watch it, because because of my week that I've been having, I didn't even finish watching it. Like, to be completely transparent, I did not finish watching the movie. I probably have maybe only like 5, maybe 10
like
minutes
10
left.
minutes left in there. But
so
I mean, I think
thankfully
Marci
Marci took notes this time around, so I get to be surprised by the ending.
Yeah. I think you can guess what happens at the end.
Yeah. I actually think, because like I told you before, like we talked about, I think when we first started the first one, I was like, I've watched this one recently enough to know. Like, I believe I've watched the second one recently enough to remember that spoiler alert, if you're watching the movie while listening to this, it's a bad move. But I believe the ending is that the portal that they open makes it so they can travel to Halloweentown anytime, right? Yeah. And it's not like only on Halloween, which takes 100 years to happen in in Halloweentown. So, okay, that's what I thought. But right on. Well, should we just get into the nitty gritty?
Let's jump right into it.
Right on. So, Halloweentown II, Kalabar's Revenge was released in 2001, and it was written by John Cooksey, Ali Marie Matheson, and Paul Birnbaum, which is the same as it was last time.
Yeah.
Everyone is actually the same. They're just in a different order this time, which is weird. But
and we have Cal now.
Oh, I went to camera 4, which is nothing. That's awkward. And then Cal, yes.
So do you want me to start?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Cal was played by Daniel Counts with a K.
Ooh. And then, of course, Kimberly J. Brown reprised her role as Marnie Piper.
Joey Zimmerman comes back as Dylan Piper.
The lovely Debbie Reynolds as Aggie Cromwell.
Emily Rosk as Sophie Piper.
Judith Hoag, which is how we read it because I know this name now.
Yeah.
It was a character, someone from Brink. I could scroll through and figure out who it was, but it was someone from Brink who has the same last name. And I'm curious now. We can look it up later, but I'm curious if it is related. But anyway, Judith Hoag, whatever, played Gwen Piper yet again.
Philip Van Dyke is Luke.
Oh, I went to my camera.
That's okay.
Dang it.
Philip Van Dyke is Luke.
Robin Thomas as Kalabar.
Peter Wingfield as Alex.
Jessica Lucas as Vampire Girl.
Her name is Cindy. Blue Mankuma as Gort.
And then the lovely Richard Side as Benny.
Yes.
Again, right? He played Benny the first time around, right?
I believe so.
No.
No?
Benny was played by somebody else.
Probably because in the first movie he was just voiced, and in this movie he was an actual person. He was a person.
You are correct about that. The movie... Wait, I finished. You go.
Okay, it was directed by Mary Lambert.
The music was by Mark Mothersbaugh, which is the same as last, I believe.
I think
Directed by someone different, but the music was the same, so that's cool.
Yeah.
Cinematography was also different.
It was edited by Sharon L. Ross,
who was also different from the last time. And it was edited, that's what you just said, it was cinematographed by Tony Westman. And that is our cast and crew of Halloweentown 2, Kalabar's Revenge.
Yes.
Let's see. I finally set it up so that when I'm on camera too, you can't see my computer screen.
Awesome. It's not just
so they can't be spying over my shoulder to see what I'm doing. I think my live settings appear to be. Oh, there we go. Okay. You can see like a sliver of it. I guess I could just slide it a little bit more out of the way. Now you can't see it.
I can't see it in the camera.
It's there. It's faint, but it's fine. Whatever. It doesn't even matter. It just was bothering me, and now, it's like
now you feel better.
Yes. So onward and upward. Hopefully someone joins us soon and chats with us in the chat, but if not, it's okay. We love doing it. We do it for the live viewers. We do it for the after live video viewers. We do it for the listeners. So let's carry on now. I'm gonna again, full disclosure, I am exhausted right now. So,
yeah, that's understandable.
I spent a long weekend. Yeah. So
yeah.
My apologies for my energy levels. I'm trying to get them up.
yeah.
I want to just take a nap.
I did just close a show.
Oh, true. Did you struck
we struck
the set?
We struck everything. Put costumes
set.
away. Put props away. Put all of the set pieces. Like we had we had 3 walls up, and they tore them all down.
Oh, okay.
In like 45 minutes.
Dang. Done.
It was like quick.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Right on. Well, let's jump on into. I'll go ahead and go through the Disney Plus summary since you talk first in the scene by scene.
Okay.
All right.
Sounds good.
Grandmother Aggie, played by Demi Reynolds, sweeps granddaughters Marnie and Sophie off to Halloweentown to investigate a series of strange occurrences.
That's not accurate.
That doesn't sound right.
She only takes Marnie.
Yeah, only Marnie goes. Okay, yeah, I was like, that doesn't sound right, but I kept reading, and that is this movie. I was like, did I accidentally grab it from the wrong one? But then it says, when they arrive, the vibrant colors seems to have lost its magic, and its once colorful citizens have become gray, literally, and boring. But why? It isn't long before Aggie discovers that her spellbook has been stolen, and the trio sets out to find it. No, they don't. They discover that an angry warlock. There is a trio, but it's not.
Yeah, they're not. I mean, Sophie's part of it, but she's not in Halloweentown with them.
Yeah, no, she's not. But and the trio that's trying to find it is Aggie, Marnie, and Luke. Yeah. That's weird. That is it. Like Disney Plus.
Yeah.
You guys could have just watched this before you typed it, but whatever. Anyway, then it's going to go. Has been taken. The book Aggie can't use. Oh, I skipped something.
Angry warlock.
They discover that an angry warlock plans to permanently turn every human into whatever costume they are wearing at midnight on Halloween, and has taken the book so Aggie can't use it to reverse his spell. It's a race against time as Marnie must use her skills to defeat the young warlock threatening to change Halloweentown for eternity. I feel like that was like probably the most inaccurate one we've gotten, and it was too vague.
I mean,
and a couple of areas, and it's called Kalabar's Revenge. Yeah. Why are we beating around the bush of who the angry warlock is?
Right. I mean, technically it's not Kalabar. It's Kalabar's son.
Is it though?
Yes.
I feel like it's not. I think it is Kalabar. I feel like it's a whole pacifier situation from what's it called? Sky High.
Yes.
Yeah.
Where he's just younger.
Yeah. When they poofed him back in the last movie, they actually just made him an infant, and he grew up in Halloweentown.
Oh.
But it's really fast.
It's really fast, yeah. That makes sense, actually.
It kind of does. It's kind of scary that I just made that make sense so fast.
Yeah.
If y'all need me to write something for you, just let me know. Yeah. I'll hire someone else to do it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, without any further ado, Marci, let's dive on into our scene-by-scene recap of Halloweentown 2, Kalabar's Revenge.
Alrighty. 2 years have passed, and we open with Marnie giving a quick recap of the last time we were in Halloweentown and what it was like, meeting new creatures and defeating Kalabar, and how Aggie left Halloweentown to live with her family in the human world. As she is messaging friends that Mom and Grandma are fighting again, she senses someone watching her, but is called by Dylan to come downstairs to join the family's Halloween party for all of the neighborhood.
We next see Aggie handing out witches' hats and brooms to some of the neighborhood children and asks Marnie to take them for a quick spin around the house. Marnie mentions that it might not be a good idea. Aggie exclaims that she can't let Gwen ruin all of her fun every day every day of the year. Yeah. Sorry. Okay. After Gwen returns the hats and brooms to Aggie and sends the kids to go apple bobbing, Aggie states that since Gwen has rejected her witchiness, someone has to take her place as the head of the Cromwell line, and Marnie is perfect, to which Sophie chimes in, or me, I'd be good too. Sorry, my little girl voice didn't quite dare tonight.
That's okay. Also, I was writing this really late at night too, so some of it's kind of silly.
That's okay. I think we can do silly here. It's silly's fine.
Okay. Marnie and Sophie split up to talk to Gwen and Aggie separately. Sophie goes to Aggie's room where she is watching her friends in Halloweentown on her magic ball. Crystal ball, that's the word I was looking for. Sorry. Sophie suggests Aggie goes back to Halloweentown to visit her friends before the portal between worlds close. But she says it's harder to go back for a few hours than to not return at all, and she will just wait for next year when she can take Marnie with her for the whole year. When Sophie asks, won't 1 year feel like 100 to Marnie, Aggie reminds her that becoming the head of the Cromwell witches takes commitment, and she can't live in both worlds. Sophie once again senses that someone is coming.
Next, we see Gwen and Marnie talking in the kitchen. Gwen confesses that she is frustrated with Aggie teaching the girls magic, and how she wants them to learn the things she knows too, and that their father taught her that nothing is worth it if you can get it just by wishing. Gwen also expresses that if Marnie goes to Halloweentown for a year, that she will become a stranger to the human world. Then, almost like magic, we hear a knock knock and see a guy standing in the archway, to which Marnie replies quietly to her mom, "The bomb."
We now meet Alex and Cal, a father and son who are brand new to the neighborhood and heard about the party. Cal quickly compliments Marnie, saying if all witches were as pretty as you, they'd have a better reputation. Forgetting it's Halloween and she is in what looks like a costume, Marnie looks concerned, as if Cal knows she's a witch. Alex hands Gwen tubs of lime sherbet, stating that green is his favorite color. When Gwen asks if the rest of their family will be stopping by, Alex reassures her it's just him and Cal.
While Marnie is giving Cal a tour of the house, she learns that Alex and Cal just moved in that night. We then have a quick break from Marnie and Cal to check in with Dylan, who is asking Cindy, a girl from school, to go to the costume party at the high school, to which she calls him out for not even wearing a costume and turning him down. Cutting back to Marnie and Cal, looking at her room, Cal mentions how her room doesn't look like her, aka ordinary or boring. Marnie says her mom likes ordinary.
Now feeling like she has to justify her room, she mentions her grandma's room and how it is anything but ordinary. Going against the rules, Marnie shows Cal Aggie's room, playing it off as her just being fascinated by the fictional witch stuff. Looking through her things and talking about spells, they come across Aggie's book of spells. Marnie realizes what she is doing and that they need to get out of there. When Marnie's back is turned, Cal steals the book of spells.
Once back downstairs, Cal tells his dad that he's going to head home, but not before asking Marnie to go with him to the costume party at the high school. I put the period in the wrong spot. Just before leaving, Cal magically, quote, finds a rose and gives it to Marnie. Just as he is leaving the house, Aggie and Sophie pop in to see who Sophie was sensing, but to no avail. They shrug it off and go back to the living room. Just outside, we see Cal casting a spell and walking into spooky lights.
Then, as Sophie is handing out more trinkets to the kids from Aggie's magic bag, she reaches in for one more thing, but it is empty. Not even magic can conjure up another item from the bag. Aggie says it's impossible for the bag to be empty. She's had that bag for centuries, and it's never been empty. Dylan, our warlock of a skeptic, steps in with a list of things Aggie has been pulling from the bag for the past 2 years, including an ogre named Stinky. Aggie is perplexed thinking about it. Her bag is connected to her house back in Halloweentown with all of her charms and spells.
Aggie meets Gwen and Alex by the door, where she tells her she will be taking the girls out for a while. Just home, and mentions how once Marnie is out of high school, she will be staying with her for a full year. Gwen then sends Sophie to bed, making it clear that she will not be going with Aggie. Feeling successful in their persuasion, Aggie introduces her quote, headphones to Dylan and Marnie to keep in contact between the two worlds. Just outside, Marnie and Aggie notice the bus stop sign is missing. So Marnie attempts to summon it, but when that fails, they work together to get a portal to Halloweentown.
Back inside, Alex is watching Gwen pour refreshments and compliments her green eyes, saying they look like 2 lily pads in a clear pond. He then asks her to attend the costume party at the high school with him. Gwen accepts after he makes a compelling statement about how they could always use more chaperones, and he can find a costume for her from something Cal has lying around. As he's leaving, he bumps into Dylan, making a croaking sound. He walks away, leaving behind a toady friend.
Kind of makes it sound like he just turned out a toad. It's really funny. We are now with Marnie and Aggie walking into Halloweentown. But this is not the same town they left 2 years ago. The jack-o'-lantern is gone, and with its disappearance, everything and everyone has turned gray. They first bump into Aggie's old friend, Astrid, an elf who is no longer the bell-bottom activist they once knew. Next, they catch up with Luke, who looks like a human again. When asked why he is turning gray and
he quippily.
Oh, there's okay. Why? Oh. When asked why he's turning gray, he quippily responded with, "Everybody's doing it." Learning that the spell is transforming the creatures of Halloweentown into humans, Aggie remembers a spell from her book that had this gray spell in it.
Aggie and Marty call home on the headphone, and Dylan and Sophie go to Aggie's room to look for her spellbook to undo the curse. Once they're in her room, they discover the book is missing. Marty confesses that she took Cal in there, and Sophie realizes that he is the one she felt coming, and that he was the one who stole the book. As they're trying to reopen the portal home, Cal makes his appearance known with his face in a cube where the jack-o'-lantern once lived. Marnie learns that Cal is a warlock and that he is none other than Kalabar's son.
Thinking of how to undo the gray spell and get back to the mortal world, Aggie tells Marnie about a second copy of the spellbook. They summon a taxi cab, which is no longer driven by a skeleton, but it is still Benny, now a fully fleshed, careful driving human. Once back at Aggie's house, they see that the gray spell has taken over that as well. In a quick search montage, Marnie unknowingly undoes the gray spell on Luke, turning him back into a goblin. Aggie then remembers she lost her second spell book centuries ago.
And all lost things end up at the goblin Gort's house, the meanest, smelliest, most unkind goblin there is, now turned into a well-organized, clean, and most boring human. While at Gort's, Cal locks them in with another spell, and the gray spell starts affecting Aggie. Cal makes his presence known again and mentions a monster spell that he is going to use on the humans at midnight, turning them into the creature they are dressed as at the party. While thinking of a way to escape Cal's trap, Marnie gets Aggie to remember a time travel spell, and her and Luke are off.
Back at the mortal world, Dylan offers to stay at home and watch Sophie so Gwen can go to the party with Alex, who is dressed as a frog, and gives Gwen an unsettling witch's mask. Sophie is reading a book and learns about golems and puts 2 and 2 together, thinking that Alex is Cal's golem. With this in their minds, they grab a broom and Sophie flies them to the high school to warn their mom. Meanwhile, Marnie and Luke make their way back in time to Gort's to find the spell book. As they're looking, they learn that Kalabar bought the book from Gort 50 years earlier, and Cal only stole the book from their house to prevent them from undoing the gray spell.
Dylan and Sophie make it to the high school and find their mom and Alex dancing. Confused, Gwen asks how they got there and freaks when she learns that Sophie flew them there on the broom. They share their suspicions about Alex, and Gwen only believes them when Sophie conjures up a fly and Alex uses his gross frog tongue to eat it. Grossed out, Gwen turns him into a pile of toads. And then back in Halloweentown, Marnie and Luke are trying to figure out how she undid the gray spell on Luke. Once they write it out, they see a simple undo spell, Trappa, which is just a part backwards. After learning this, Marnie and Luke are ready to go back to their time and fix everything, but they lost the time travel spell. Luckily, Gort has a timeline black hole thing in his closet that they can use.
At the high school, Gwen, Dylan, and Sophie are looking for Cal, but with no luck. While the whole school is counting down to midnight, and Gwen sees Cal in the rafters, starting the creature spell. When he spots her, he uses another spell to put her mask down and make it unremovable. Marnie and Luke make it back to Aggie just in time. Sorry, my line tracking kind of fell apart. Just in time to open the portal, but they are too slow to get through, and the portal closes. Cal has succeeded in casting the creature spell, and Gwen turns into a terrifyingly spooky witch. And now the whole gym is filled with spooky creatures.
Wait till you see the very last sentence.
I'm excited.
Upset about the portal closing and not being able to go back to the mortal world for a year, Marnie calls Sophie and Dylan, and the Cromwells and Luke, although just a goblin, pull together and cast a spell creating a new portal that they can use anytime and not just on Halloween. Marnie confronts Cal and defeats him with her perseverance and determination to save both the mortal world and Halloweentown.
After the creature spell is gone and everyone has turned to human, the Cromwells share a happy, reunited hug, and Gwen gives the kids permission to go visit Aggie in Halloweentown anytime, since they are the ones who created a portal to use at any time, and they can now live in either place knowing they can go back and forth as they please. Finally, we see Sophie and Marnie going around Halloweentown, undoing all of the gray spell, Trappa. Luke convinces our favorite lovable skeptic Dylan to do the Trappa spell, and he changes Benny back into silly little joke-telling skeleton self. And they all lived spookily ever after.
I'm glad you understood the assignment.
Yeah, I mean, I got it. There's like 8 to 9 O's there, so yeah. I got a spooky. Well, excellent job.
Thank you.
It does. I'm not gonna lie. It feels like the first few that I did, where it's like a lot of detail, and then
not a lot,
and then everything happens. But it you know, the more I think about it, the more I realize that it's not necessarily because of the way we're writing. Mm-hmm. It is a little bit, but it's because that's the way that the movies play out.
How the movies play out.
It's a lot of slow setup and then.
Yeah.
It just happens. So, yes, excellent. Good job. I appreciate that you did that because I don't know. Oh my goodness. First of all, I'm going to pause for a second. We have 5 people currently watching at this very minute. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys are watching, feel free to leave a comment. Tell us what you thought about Halloweentown 2 if you watched it. If you didn't,
what do you
that's
think?
fine.
What do you think of the Disney Plus summary?
If you caught the Disney Plus summary,
and then all of my ramblings afterwards.
For real. Anyway, okay, so we now must talk about how it held up.
You go first. Yeah.
Oh, we also need to do favorite scene and least favorite scene.
Oh yeah.
But we can do how it hold up first. I think last time I said that the CGI was really cheesy, but it was kind of what made it for me. Like, it made it bearable. Right. Yeah. I don't feel like it was the same thing here.
No.
The CGI was better. And unfortunately, I think that was a problem. The CGI was better in a lot of cases, and I was like, oh, but the silliness is what I liked about the first one.
Right.
The goofy, outlandish CGI was the best part of it. And this time around, it was like,
I was like, you improved.
You made it better.
Yeah.
You made it look better, which arguably, in my opinion, personally, made the movie a little worse. But not that it's a bad movie. No, you know.
I think it was pretty good. I haven't seen this one in a long time, but I still love some of the way that they were. Oh my god, I lost my train of thought. Like the way that they had them speaking, like their dialect. Yeah, weird.
There was a lot of stiff dialogue in this movie, and a little too much.
A little bit between like Marnie and Luke. There's one point where he was like, you were searching through the house, and she's like, right, and you were picking your nose, and he was like, okay, you didn't have to say that.
Right.
I was like, that doesn't actually advance the plot at all.
No, it doesn't. It was just, it was kind of silly.
It's just a random detail that you noticed.
It's on that same thing with the dialogue being kind of weird.
Yeah.
Is when they're trying to go back after they've realized that Gort sold the book 50 years ago, and they're like, okay, we need to go back to where Aggie is in time. Right. And she's like, okay, but she's like, Luke, where's the spell? And he's like, you had it.
Yeah.
And then she's like, yeah, I put it on the table. Why'd you ask Luke where it was?
If you
sorry if I just blew out your headphones there, guys. I need to get a compressor on this thing. But I'm like, why did you ask Luke where it was?
Right.
If you know you put it on that table.
I put it on the table when I was going through the trash.
It's like,
and he was like,
it'd be like me asking you where my phone is.
It's on the table.
But it's like, you didn't have it. I had it. So why am I asking you where I put it?
You know where you put it.
So that's silly. But anyway. Okay. So
aside from the dialect, I think it.
Yeah, the dialogue was weird. And the CGI was arguably better, which in my opinion made the movie worse. Unfortunately, but it's still not a terrible movie to watch. I did watch this last year because before, and it must have been longer ago than that, because we were doing DCOM rewatches already by Halloween last year. Yeah, I think. Were we?
We might have started in November. I can't remember.
Maybe I did watch it last year, but it was just because I was trying to watch all of Disney Channel's Halloween movies around Spooktober, because I was feeling really spooky last year. Right. That was when that's a long story. It's not a movie that I will probably watch ever again. Maybe in a couple of years. Yeah, either one of them really. I don't gravitate towards them a whole lot.
Yeah, I mean they're fun to watch.
Yeah.
It's not like, ooh, it's Halloween, we have to watch Halloweentown.
Right. I'll probably go to Nightmare Before Christmas first, or the Great Pumpkin, Linus and Snoopy. Yeah. That just sparked a whole different thought in my head, and a song popped into my head, but it's not. It's a song I really like, but I don't think it's incredibly well known. Okay. But anyway, okay, we got to move on because I've been jabbering for a minute now. Okay, favorite scene. What's your favorite scene in this movie?
My favorite scene is when they're going through he opens the portal and he's like, it's just a timeline. I don't remember his exact description, but she's like, this is Newton's description of a black hole.
Oh yeah.
And that's why I put that. I was like, black hole. And she pulls out her teeny tiny little broom. and like Luke is like, I'm a goblin, I don't fly. And she's like, fly with me.
Yeah. Come fly with me. Let's fly away.
Yeah. And then
awesome. That's a good
she
one.
like has to lower it so he can get on.
Yeah.
It's funny.
I think my favorite scene is when they first meet Boring Gort. After Aggie has been like, he is still the most gruesome goblin. Like, he's terrible. He's going to be so rude. And they get there and like, hi, how are you?
How are you?
And I just like the way he speaks. I don't know why. I love his voice.
I like the way I like the way how.
I
like the way he speaks as a boring human.
Yeah, me too.
It's like, yes, that's what everybody thinks of when they say when it's like,
do you think these socks match?
I'm sorting my socks.
I like that scene a lot. Okay.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty well covers that.
Yeah.
Least favorite scene.
I
have a tie.
Let's see. Least favorite. Probably when she's instant messaging and it's like you hear a voice on the computer, and I was so confused at first.
When it was like a random speech to text response back.
And it was like, why would you do that?
That's so weird.
That doesn't make any sense.
If you were gonna like type and then stand up and walk away,
right?
Like, sure, but if you're just sitting there, like,
yeah,
that doesn't make sense.
Doesn't make a ton of sense to me. But
that was pretty terrible.
Yeah,
I have two scenes that I didn't really like.
Go for it.
The first one, and it's kind of like a couple of scenes tied together, I guess, really. And it's like, it's stupid. Mm-hmm. And I hate that I know this. It's information that I possess in my head that made me hate this scene that I don't like that I know.
Yes.
Okay. And it was at the Halloween party. Mm-hmm. They start counting down to the witching hour.
I do hate that they start counting down from 60.
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
That
is wild.
That's a lot.
But they're counting down to the witching hour. Mm-hmm. Basically, the movie is claiming that the witching hour is 12 o'clock midnight, and it is not.
When is
the witching hour is 3 a.m. And I don't like that I know that, but I do.
Why do you know that?
Because of YouTube videos I used to watch.
Okay.
And I'm not proud of the YouTube videos I used to watch. I probably let some things get into my mind that I really shouldn't have years ago. But, kind of too late to do anything. I mean, not too late to do. There's definitely things to do about it. But I'm fixing it now. Yes.
That's fine.
But there is knowledge imparted in that carries on today. Yeah. And that is that the witching hour is 3 a.m., not midnight.
Got it. Okay.
So they're counting down to midnight. Yeah. If they were counting down to the witching hour like they claimed they were,
right?
Marnie is 3 minutes late for getting back already.
Yeah, it'd be 3 hours.
Not seconds away from making it and just missing it. Like, you missed it by 3 hours, girl. Yeah. So super random. Disliked that a lot. Drove me crazy.
Yeah.
But anyway.
What is your second?
My second least favorite scene is in that grouping of scenes. Mm-hmm. And it's when Kalabar Jr. is up in the rafters and he's casting the spell and Gwen just stares at him.
Right.
For what felt like 3 or 4 minutes.
If you're listening to them counting down, it's about 10 seconds. Which is
A, still too long.
That's too long.
B, felt way longer.
Yeah.
And she does nothing, even though she could.
She turned.
She waits for him to stare at her.
Yeah.
And then lets him cast a spell on her that pulls her mask down and attaches it to her face.
Well, she even tells the kids, she's like, they're like, have you found him? She said, no, I'm going to put my mask on. He knows me. And then she's like, and like, that's right before.
And then she has her mask up again.
And then she like pulls it up because she sees him in the rafters.
That's so dumb.
Yeah. Yeah.
I guess another honorable mention is, and it's not even least favorite scene, it's just like plot issue, I guess, is the kid's name is Cal.
Honestly.
First of all, love you guys. You guys did a great job writing this movie. No disrespect. Lazy writing.
Pick a different name.
The bad guy in the last movie's name was Kalabar.
Yeah.
The bad guy in the second movie's name is Cal. And it's not even spelled C-A-L.
No.
It's spelled K-A-L. And I'm like, this is y'all are so blind.
Yep.
And he does the same thing with the rose. And
right.
I know
and
she points out later where she's like, I should have known when he gave me the rose.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you should have known when he said his name.
Yeah.
What are the odds someone moves in on Halloween night and their name is Cal? Yeah. I know you thought you killed Kalabar and there was no chance of him returning, but
here
per my not poof point. I said poof point earlier, but it's not poof point. It's the pacifier.
Yes.
Pacifier from Sky High.
Yeah.
Per my pacifier argument, I believe he was poofed into a embryo and birthed from nothing and grew up in Halloweentown. I believe it's still Kalabar.
Yeah.
And what's weird is that Kalabar is actually what's his name? We talked about it when we were talking about the cats. Robin Thomas is credited as Kalabar in this movie.
And I think he's cast or credited because
does he show up?
At the very beginning when she's doing the recap.
Yes, that's right.
She says my family. She talks about Kalabar.
I guess you're right, but I'm sticking with my story.
He's in the movie long enough that he is credited.
He is Kalabar. He's not his son. It is Kalabar. Period. End of story. I don't care.
Yeah. Also, one thing I would like to note.
Please do.
This is just like a scenery visual thing for me, and maybe it's because Halloweentown grew. Mm-hmm. But in the first movie, they have the jack-o'-lantern next to City Hall.
Right. It's kind of like Town Square.
Yeah. So there's like Town Square, and then it's like there's like, let's say this is City. I'm sorry, I'm blocking my whole face.
You're good. I think you're in frame here. You're good.
Oh, it's backward. Okay, this is Town Hall, and the jack-o'-lantern's here.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
In the first movie. But in the second movie, it's like a square and it's in the center in front of. So did they move it? Do they say something about moving it? I would say yes.
One of the things she says is that Halloweentown is always changing.
I guess that's true.
And it's been 100 years in Halloweentown.
That's true. Yeah.
Which is weird because even though it's been 100 years, basically, Luke is only 2 years older, just like Marnie.
Right. Yeah. So.
I don't know. The movement of time over there kind of makes sense, kind of doesn't.
It doesn't make
sense. But
it's
like maybe in Halloweentown the time moves differently, and yes, it is 100 years, but you also age differently. Yeah, you age as if you were in the human realm, so it's still only aging you 2 years, even though it's been 100. Which would make sense for like Aggie, because she's over 100 years old, and it's like.
I mean, she's like. They said she's lived there for like 200 years.
She's lived there for 200 years. Yeah. And she was there when they created Halloweentown. So
she's lived
longer.
Halloweentown has been there for 200 years. If she's lived there, I don't know.
Roughly, yeah.
I don't want to get into the lore. I don't know anything about that.
I mean, that kind of makes sense because maybe I don't know. I don't know about like timelines and things. I'm kind of stupid on like history and stuff.
Stupid,
maybe more than 200 years because like medieval times.
Yeah.
They would have been on Earth.
I mean,
it was somewhere around that after that they came back.
When they go back, when Marnie and Luke are traveling back in time, like you mentioned.
Yes, that made me mad.
They go back to the like caveman days.
Yeah. So, and I'm like, but if they're in Halloweentown and they travel back in time, they should still be in Halloweentown when they travel back. So it should either be an abyss because they traveled back far enough that there was no Halloweentown.
Right.
Or there was two sets of cavemen.
There were.
I don't know.
They're another creature.
There's a lot of lore tied up in that I can't wrap my head around. Yeah, so
I can't either.
I guess that I'll leave it there.
Yeah. Well,
I had a lot more to say about this than I thought I would. Right. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. But yeah. What's your rating out of 5 stars? What does it get?
I'm gonna give this one 3.5.
3.5 I feel is generous still. Like,
I mean,
I'm not like a hater, but like.
What did I give Halloweentown the first one?
Can't remember. Let me see if I wrote it down.
I'll give it half a star than what I gave.
I did not write it down.
I feel like I gave 4 stars.
That means I have to go back and listen to us talking last time and see what I said. If anyone listening live, watching on the live stream right now, remembers what I gave it, please drop it in the comments so we can remember. If not, it's okay. It's okay. I love you guys anyway. You don't have to comment. But just one would be cool.
I just want one to be cool. I just want to see someone.
Anyway. I don't know. I think 3 for me.
Okay.
Regardless of what we gave Halloweentown, I'm going to give this one 3 because the CGI arguably made it worse.
Yeah. It made it less, I don't want to say nostalgic, but like
less goofy.
Yeah.
I liked that the first one was so goofy and like silly and like.
And it was like it didn't take itself serious.
Exactly. It let it be a story.
Yeah.
And this time it felt like it was trying to take it a little bit deeper than just a story.
Yeah.
I don't know about make it real necessarily, but
yeah,
just push it a little bit deeper. And I'm like, I liked how silly it was before. I wish y'all had kept it. And that's kind of what I'm dreading when we get to the next two, is that I know for sure Halloweentown High is like, the CGI was really good. And I'm like, it's not even going to be funny anymore.
I know Return to Halloweentown is going to be vastly different from the other two. Because it's supposed to be Marnie in college.
Right.
But also, it's a different actress playing Marnie.
Right.
I don't know if anybody else is different, but I know she is for sure.
I feel like Luke is. Someone is, because maybe not. But I know for sure that Lucas Gabriel is in.
Yeah. But I don't know. I don't know if he's like a previous character, or if he's just a new character. I can't remember.
Don't either. Let me just peek ahead for us a little bit real quick. Dylan is still played by Joey Zimmerman, so he plays Ethan Dalloway, so it is a different character.
Okay, yeah.
Which I guess is fine.
It's fine, I guess.
All right. Well, do you have anything else you'd like to say about Halloweentown 2, Kalabar's Revenge?
I think I've watched this movie more than the other ones in preparation for these notes, because I was so nervous that I was going to mess it up.
Hey,
so I watched it 3 times and I barely paused it. I paused it so I could get the actual quotes in there.
Fair enough. I like it.
So
right on. Well, thank you, Marci, for your diligent writing on this one and joining me tonight, regardless of your scraggly voice.
Scraggly.
Next week, Marci and I are going to be. I think I realized that we actually technically have one more Sunday before Halloween, so we could technically do Halloweentown High.
Or we could do a different Halloween movie.
But I think we're gonna go with Stepsister from Planet Weird and get back on track. I mean, it sounds like it could kind of be. It's all good. I'm so sorry. I think Stepsister from Planet Weird can kind of fit in this.
Yeah. I agree.
Spooktoberfest kind of situation, so we're just gonna do it, and then that also gives us 2 to do next year for Halloweentown. That way, I don't want to do all 4 of them at once. If I was thinking ahead, I would have done it
all month
through the month, but I wasn't thinking that far ahead. So whatever, it's fine. So next week, Marci and I are gonna be watching. Over the next week, I guess we'll be watching Stepsister from Planet Weird. So you guys can join us next week for our live breakdown and discussion of the film. And Adriana and I will actually be going live this Friday. Actually, no. We are moving trivia night to Wednesday night. Okay. Kind of unofficially, kind of officially.
Okay.
Because I just feel like we're putting stuff out too close together. Like it's Friday night and then Sunday night. And those are like, boom, right at the end of the week. So we're going to start doing trivia on Wednesday night, hump day trivia, I guess. I like it. And then DCOM kids will remain on Sunday nights. But so yeah, join Adriana and I on Wednesday, presumably. Adriana said we gave Halloweentown 3.5 or 4 last episode. So 3.5 last one and 3 for this one. Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Adriana. I appreciate you a lot. I love you. So we'll be doing trivia on Wednesday. Join us for trivia on Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. And then you can join Marci and I between 7 and 8 Mountain Standard Time on Sunday nights. And you can follow us on our socials at TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook by searching for @NoahParker's World of Wonder. If you are listening to the audio-only version of this podcast and you want to catch it live on YouTube, we stream on YouTube at Noah Parker's World of... Nope, actually, that's just the socials. Just at Noah Parker _channel. That'll get you to the YouTube channel. Searching that or typing youtube.com/ at Noah Parker channel _channel. Good Lord. I need a nap, y'all. And if you are already joining us on YouTube and you want to catch us later on, you want to listen to us, we do post the live podcasts on most major podcast platforms at Noah Parker's World of Wonder, specifically Amazon Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Castbox, and iHeart Podcasts. Follow us over there if you aren't already. Subscribe to us on the YouTube channel if you aren't already. Follow us on the channel, on the TikToks and all that good stuff. Drop a like right here. Leave a comment. Tell us where you're watching from. And until next time, my lovely friends, let the wonder take hold.